So that happened last night. Sixers were terrible last night. Joel Embiid is hurt and ran out of gas. He was still the best Sixer with one hand and no gas left in the tank, unfortunately. No transition game. They got beat in fast break and points in the paint. Both fast break points and points in the paint. That's hard to do, to get beat in both categories, one would assume. And they looked like a team that thought they could just show up at home, mail in a performance, and expect to advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals yet again. They're not good enough to do that. With Joel Embiid having two good hands, they're not good enough to do that. Because in a lot of instances, the Toronto Raptors, they can do what they did yesterday, as they did really throughout the regular season, which was say, yeah, go ahead. Joel Embiid alone is not going to beat us. So, hey, Maxey. Hey, Tobias Harris. Now, hey, James Harden. Go ahead and try to beat the 76ers squad. Early on, I started to get some hope. Early on, I saw the exact Tobias Harris guy that I wanted to see in this game. I wanted to see the guy be aggressive. I wanted to see him go coast to coast. And all the things that we talked about yesterday with Allah Abdelnaby, we saw early in this game, and then air was out of the balloon. And if I could pinpoint one moment where the air was really out of the balloon and I really didn't think the Sixers team was going to win, call me crazy, but it's exactly when Matisse Thybulle checked into the game in the first quarter. He looked like, over the two games in Toronto, he forgot how to play basketball. Like, completely forgot how to play basketball. He was somewhat aggressive defensively, but on the offensive end, I know he's not in there for offense. He never has been, and I know some people are crossing their fingers that he really becomes his 3-and-D guy. But he was so terrible yesterday. You saw Tyrese Maxey himself throw up his hands at Thybulle going, dude, what are you doing? Because Thybulle was wide open for a corner three after he had missed two previous shots and had some, I think he airballed a layup as well. And you're watching him play, you go, this guy isn't doing anything. He's not doing anything for you. And he swings the ball. Matisse Thybulle gets the ball in the corner from Maxey, and he dribbles, hesitates, scared of his own shot, and then passes it away to back to Thybulle, or excuse me, back to Maxey. That you can't. How do you play on the offensive end of the floor like that? And from that moment on, it just felt like, not that the Sixers were dominant at that point. It wasn't like they were up 10 or anything ridiculous, and they were going to be the coast from this point on. It was that moment that the wheels started to come off, I felt, for the 76ers. And this was just wall-to-wall, for the most part, an embarrassing loss. No matter what Toronto did, it was the right call. If they wanted to push, boom, 22 points off fast break. They wanted to go in the paint, 35 points on the paint. Anything they wanted to do, they did. Double Joel Embiid? Yeah, okay, fine. Forced turnovers from James Harden, who, by the way, if you haven't seen this yet, James Harden has as many made field goals as he does turnovers over the last two games. Oh, Mark, he has got 22 points in game 4. That's adorable. Volume shooting, definition of, when it comes to James Harden in this series. You're going to hear from Joel Embiid. We're going to let you hear what he had to say in his post-game press conference. You're going to hear a little bit from James Harden. You're going to hear a lot from Doc Rivers. There's one common theme after this game, and that's Joel Embiid screaming from the mountaintops. He's like standing on top of Billy Penn's statue in Center City, just yelling for help. Somebody help me, is what he's saying. And I don't blame him at all.